News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Laken Riley's killer, convicted of murdering her today on many counts. Also convicted of attempted rape of her. And we heard some horrifying details today, and we also heard the heartbreaking letter to her husband that she wrote. We also heard the impact statements. Let's hear the impact statements.
This monster took away our chances to see Laken graduate from nursing school. He took away our ability to meet our future son-in-law. He destroyed our chances of meeting our grandchildren. And he took my best friend.
I now get to explain to people when they ask me if I have a sibling that I no longer have one. And not just because she passed away, but because she got brutally attacked and murdered. I cannot walk around my own college campus because I'm terrified of people like Jose Ibarra.
I live with excruciating guilt every day that I was not accompanying Laken on this run, and that it was her and not me.
One of her last journal entries dated 12/17/23 says it best. To my future husband, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. And I'm working every day to become the best wife I can be, by working through my current relationships to best prepare me for ours and our kids one day.
The letter to her husband, the whole one I have, at some point we might play that tonight. I want to, I can tell you that. It just takes a couple minutes up, but it's worth every second of it. We also have other things today. Andy McCarthy, former federal prosecutor in the Southern District of New York and Fox News contributor, said that Tom Homan, Trump's incoming border czar, is right. That if any Boston or Chicago or New York mayor or Los Angeles mayor at all, or any of their city officials, gets in the way and hinders an attempted arrest or prosecution or anything where federal officials are in pursuit of or attempting to find and arrest illegals, they will be prosecuted, and they can be prosecuted. I want you to understand that. So Boston Mayor Wu, the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, this woman's insane. And if she actually orders city officials, or if any city chief or sheriff or police officer or city council member, anyone, offers safe harbor or obfuscates or gets in the way with anything, attempts to conceal or shield illegals from federal law enforcement, if they interfere with their execution of their duties, if they take affirmative steps to conceal or shield, they have no duty to help federal immigration agents, but they may not interfere with them, and they will prosecute them. And I want them put in jail if they interfere in any way, or harbor, or conceal, or shield from detection. Any building, anything. That's the federal law. It's right here in front of me. Section 132, 1A, subsection 1A3, Title 8 in the U.S. Code. Okay? Also, we have the great state of Texas via our land commission and our great governor, Abbott. Imagine the synergy we will have with state officials and local government officials and county officials who want to cooperate and say, please, how can we help you? How can we synergize with you, Trump and Holman, to get these illegals out of our state and out of our country? How can we synergize? The land commissioner of the state of Texas has done that tonight, saying, I'm going to give you 1,400 acres to stage your installation to hold illegals, all illegals. Impound them here, set up a massive tent here, massive camp to hold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of illegals. It goes over the Rio Grande. It hits parts of the Rio Grande. It has access to international airports, probably the Rio Grande International Airport in the RGV. Brownsville, McAllen, Harlingen area, Starr County, which is part of the RGB, and in that metropolitan area, to hold not only illegals but maximum security types and everything you can name it. So here's my questions for you. I want to hear from you right now at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. All lines open. Do you want all of Joe and Kamala's illegals removed from our country? Oh, by the way, a lot of these Democrats are saying, "Oh, we'll work with you. We'll pass the stuff and support stuff to get the illegals out, but only the violent ones. Only the violent ones." I want them all out. How about you? I don't want to wait for them to kill somebody or rape somebody to get them out of here. I want them all out of here. Every one of Joe and Kamala's illegals, the last 4 years, every one of them is illegitimate and must get the living heck out of here. Do you want all of Kamala and Joe's illegals removed from our country or just the violent ones? Are you okay with waiting until they're violent? Or is that not the only reason they should be removed? Are you okay with 1,400 acres of Texas land being used to stage a massive camp for the illegals to be detained and eventually deported, as I am? And are you okay with arresting and bringing these illegals, all of them, violent or nonviolent, into that center run by the feds? Lastly, we have Rand Paul today saying he's not okay with the military our U.S. military helping round and hold these illegals up and all of its resources. I am. This is, as Trump's going to declare on day one, a national emergency. So are you okay with our military and its facilities being used to deport these illegals as well? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Lines wide open. Chime in right now. We've got several minutes to put you on. By the way, I got to tell you this. This is a national emergency. This is a threat to our security and to our country. When you have about 12 to 16 million illegals from 181 countries, including Islamist countries like the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, where one of its illegals shot and killed a Jewish man and yelled Allahu Akbar as he shot and killed him walking to a synagogue in Chicago. That's a threat to this country and our national security. When you have tens of thousands of Chinese illegals, including thousands of them in Texas, of military age, could be spies, that's a threat to this nation's security. When you have thousands of people that are coming in to rape our women, murder our women, and they only go after women, don't they? Just like in North Dallas, they found a woman in an $800,000 home neighborhood by, Love Field. They jumped her in her driveway, brought her into the house, beat the living crap out of her by pistol whipping her, threatened to cut off her fingers if she didn't tell them where everything was, stole $75,000 worth of jewelry and several thousands and thousands of dollars worth of handbags, designer handbags. Also left a body on the side of the road in Farmers Branch of somebody that was a threat to their business, perhaps. They are in 16 states. They are taking over in many areas. The TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, their FBI version, it's like our Texas Rangers. Their TBI has said now, the head of their TBI has said on Fox News, they are in every single major city of Tennessee. They're in Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, and what's the other one I'm missing? Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, and one more. They're in all four of their large major cities, if you will. And that they first come in and they do sex trafficking, then they do drugs and they take over drugs, and then they take over territory and land. It gets worse and worse and worse. I want you to understand that this threat is everywhere. Richard in Dallas, you're on WBAP. Hey, Rich.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good,
it's great to be on air. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I fully support taking care of. I fully support deporting those individuals that cause the biggest threat to this country, and those that have a criminal record. And I think that should be our first line of focus. We should focus on those criminals that pose a threat to this country, and then we should take it step by step. If we try and do everything at once, I do the backlash and the legal ramifications months is going to delay the process, and it's not going to happen. So we should definitely start first and foremost at going after those that pose the biggest threat to this country.
So there's about 14 to 16 million of them. You want to are you willing to wait to see if they rape us or kill us first? The rest of them?
No. I mean, 14 to 16 million. I think that's a little bit of extreme. I mean, I think whether it's 10% or whatever the number is that pose a great threat to this country. I mean, are
you okay with trying to get all 14 to 16 million out of here in 4 years?
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I just think that we should focus first and foremost on those,
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate your call, sir. You okay with the 1,400 acres being used to stage all of these illegals, violent or not violent, and get them out of here by deporting them from Texas?
100%.
Good. Appreciate you. And our law enforcement, and our military, yes?
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
Yeah, no questions asked. Not at all.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. All right, we'll talk to Cindy in Arlington coming up next, plus you also at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. 4 lines open. Also, got to tell you this. You're going to hear about another Trinidad Agua illegal who was doing a disgusting thing when he was caught doing a robbery of a New York City prosecutor. What he was doing when she caught him. It's vile and disgusting. All that's coming up next in 2 minutes at 9:19 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
To my future husband, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I'm working every day to become the best wife I can be. By working through my current relationships to best prepare me for ours and our kids one day. I'm focusing on God and what He defines as a faithful Christian wife, and so that I can best embody those characteristics. I pray that you know that it is with my full faith and trust in God that I know this relationship has been handcrafted by Him. I pray that we continue to glorify the Lord, prioritize Him in every aspect of our lives, and raise our family, our future family, to be God-fearing Christians as well. I pray God is the center of our relationship as it is a gift from Him. I thank Him for you before I even know you.
I'm going to pause it right there. There's more to come of Laken Riley's letter to her husband before she was killed. No babies. No husband. She's killed. And this disgusting murderer and rapist, attempted rapist, had lifted her shirt above her breasts, had pulled her pants down and pulled her panties out, and he murdered her because she wouldn't go along with him raping her. He was peeping Tom earlier on a woman and trying to break into her apartment, on-campus residence apartment. Laken Riley's sister now begins UGA, and she is too afraid to walk around on campus right now. He is Trinidad Agua. Another Trinidad Agua today in New York City busted for a New York City prosecutor came home and a man was masturbating in her home. He is one of Joe and Kamala's illegals with Trinidad Agua, robbing her, Alvin Bragg's prosecutors in her apartment after she busted him masturbating. He was smiling, all smiles today as he was doing the perp walk cuffed. These people are here. Joe and Kamala left him here. They smile as they rape us, murder us, and masturbate in our homes. This is who Joe and Kamala brought in. And you're to shut up and let them kill you or rape you first. Then you can complain, and then Joe will not say her name right and to hold up some pin when people shout you out, shout it out and call them out on it. There you go. Let's go to, we got Cindy in Arlington, WBAP. Hello, Cindy.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Well, first off, I want to send a big thank you to you because your show is when I learn about all the things happening with this gang here in the Metroplex. Mm-hmm. You're the first one I hear it. I make sure I tell all my friends and everybody. They're horrified. After watching 2 days of Lincoln Riley's family in that court, it was gut-wrenching. And all I keep thinking is, where are these people at? And my question to you is this. Do you know where the gangs are situated in each city here?
Yeah.
I know San Antonio did a big ring job, and they're rallying them up.
They're still all over.
I don't know where they are here.
They're still all over in San Antonio. They're in Austin. They're in El Paso, with a big hub for their entire operations for the country in El Paso. They're also in Houston. They're in North Dallas, according to the Dallas Police Department. Now, will Farmers Branch confirm they're working within Farmers Branch? I don't know, but they left a man with a bullet in his head dead on the side of a road in Farmers Branch. What does that mean? That means they're coming into our suburbs. They're going to rape, they're going to kill, and they're going to violate us in our own homes, in our own areas and suburbs. But they like to go after women, Cindy. They like to go after women because they're I can't say where they are.
Oh, well, here's my question. The gang units in Dallas-Fort Worth, do you know if the gang units are all over this, or if there's a plan to bring in the National Guard?
No. The city of Dallas, nobody's going to tell us. Nobody tells us anything. I think that I don't trust the city of Dallas. I don't trust the police department of Dallas because it's controlled by, I have dear friends in the police department. I love our officers because it's controlled by leftist Democrats, Soros Democrats like Let 'em Go Crusoe. I don't trust them. I trust Farmers Branch, PD. I trust police departments, and I trust government officials. I trust suburban officials. I don't trust Dallas County officials. So where are they beyond their description of North Dallas? You have to wait till they strike. I would like to hear from Attorney General Ken Paxton. Actually, I'd really like to hear from Governor Abbott and Ken Paxton. I think they could tell us more, and I'd like them to tell us more.
I've tried to call them. You can't get through. And I'm trying to figure out a quick way. Maybe I'll have to contact Senator Ted Cruz's office because so many of us are very worried.
Yeah, call his Texas office and his D.C. office. All right.
Okay. Then I'm going to do that, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate you very much, Cindy. Thank you. Okay, we've got Jason in North Richland Hills, Nathan in Saginaw. We want to take your guys' call next. I also want to tell you why they didn't seek the death penalty on Laken Riley's killer. Questions are: do you want all of Joe and Kamala's illegals removed from our country, or just the violent ones? Are you okay with waiting till they're violent, or do we want to deport them regardless? I'm going to tell you why, regardless of whether they've committed a crime or not, why they need to be removed, all of them, coming up next. Plus, are you okay with 1,400 acres of Texas land being given up to allow a staging of a massive camp for the illegals to be detained and deported in Texas? And are you okay with Texas arresting them and bringing them right into that center run by the feds? In essence, our state and local officials synergizing with the feds. I am so okay with that. These violent, disgusting, sick Trinidad Agua illegals are all coming in through our great state of Texas. You trust them to just leave? Are you kidding me? They're here. And are you okay with our military and its facilities being used to deport these illegals? Rand Paul is not. I'll also tell you about that coming up next. We've got 3 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. Your call also coming up next on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
You know, I've talked to little girls as young as 9 years old that were raped multiple times by members of cartel. When you look in her eyes and everything innocent and pure has been ripped from her soul, and her life will never be the same. I mean, it's just I'm tired of it. And the government failed the Laken Riley family. Not only if President Trump was president, he'd be sitting in Mexico in the Remain in Mexico program. And if he did get to New York and he was arrested for injury to a child in New York, I used to be able to arrest him because the priorities under Trump, where if you're in the country illegally, you're a target. But because Secretary Mayorkas put the priorities so low, even the injury to the child didn't meet the standards, so ICE could even place a detainer on him. So this is purely, it could have been prevented. This young lady's dead, and I want every mayor, every governor of a sanctuary jurisdiction to listen to that tape, listen to this young girl fight for her life, fight for her breath, trying to survive, terrified. I want you to understand what she went through. Like the 9-year-old boy, that 5-year-old boy in the back of the tractor trailer that I held, I found him dead, baked to death. I thought about what the last hour of his life was like. You need to listen to this tape. And for those governors and mayors that are saying they're going to stop Tom Homan, they're going to stop President Trump, shame on you. Your responsibility is to protect your communities, and that's what we want to do, is protect your community.
That's Tom Homan, soon-to-be border czar, who, as he said, he held a 5-year-old baked child that was baked to death in his arms. Remember that that tractor trailer, I think it was, where they found him. And here's the rest of Laken Riley's letter to her husband that she never got to marry.
And can't wait to love you in the best way I know how for the rest of our lives. I pray you know and feel the importance of my love and hopes for our relationship. No matter what challenges we face, I pray that our trust in God and love for one another overrules the obstacle. May our relationship last forever. Your future wife, Laken.
All right, I have in front of me from Bill Malugin, Fox News. ICE announces the arrest of 3 alleged illegal alien child rapists in Massachusetts, 2 of whom were charged with forcibly raping Massachusetts children. Another convicted of raping a child in Brazil 2 years ago, but was hiding in Massachusetts as a fugitive after he was caught and released into the New Mexico border. See, they're being released in Texas, too. Child rapists, all sorts of people. All these arrests took place in Massachusetts, where the governor said the other day her state will not cooperate with Trump administration's federal immigration authorities. Case 1, a Guatemalan illegal charged with forcibly raping a Massachusetts child in February. Great Barrington PD ignored the detainer request and released him without notice to rape our children. Case 2, a Brazilian illegal alien convicted of child rape in Brazil 2 years ago, fled to the U.S., crossed into New Mexico, somehow still released by Joe and Kamala to rape more of our children. Come rape our babies. Case 3, a Colombian illegal arrested in October of last year in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, forcibly raping a child. The Berkshire County Jail honored ICE detainer and transferred him to their custody. So these are just 3 of them. But some people want to wait until they rape our children or rape our daughter, or like Laken, she gurgled as he was beating her to death, her body gurgling as her body turned to death. Her heart stopped after 18 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes, fighting back at illegal that Joe and Kamala stamped and said, come in and kill and rape our girls. Peep and Tom, while they're in the shower, try to break in and rape them. When you don't go to do that, go find another one at the trails. Make sure she has a letter to her husband that she hasn't met yet and rape her and kill her. I'm not waiting for them to do this. I want them out of here. Why didn't this guy get the death penalty today? Because George Soros, DA, just like Let Him Go Creuzot in Dallas County. You elected a Democrat liberal DA. He's funded by George Soros. Let Him Go Creuzot will not give the death penalty to anybody, especially people of color. Even the ones he says he will give the death penalty to, like a serial killer Billy Chamirmir. He said yes, and then St. George Floyd, blessed be his name. Or we also call him St. George Fentanyl, who died from an overdose. He died, and then Let Him Go Creuzot took that off the table because he's like, oh, no death penalty for a serial killer who's black. No. We have Rand Paul saying, I don't want the military being used. I'm not in favor of sending the military, army, and uniforms into cities to collect people. That's not what we use our military for. We never have. It's been illegal for over 100 years to bring our military into cities. They're trained to shoot the enemy, not to get to do a warrant to get what they're doing. No worries. We're still going to do what we can and use the military where we can. You know why? Because this is an invasion of people who are murdering us, raping us. And I want all of them rounded up, not just the criminals, and I don't want to wait for them to kill us, because the cost, $190 billion a year to fund them, which is much cheaper to deport them, to house them, feed them, and clothe them. The damage of our schools, the hospitals, housing, infrastructure, housing driven up high because of the, for example, the Boston Fed saying that that's exactly right. They're driving up housing. They're taking up 12 million homes. Infrastructure, the grid, wages deflated, jobs being taken, chaos in our country. 181 countries from all over the world, including Islamic Republic of Mauritania, that shoots Jews in our streets and kills them on the way to worship, yelling, Allahu Akbar! I see no-go zones in Europe. Jews and gay people should hide their identity in Arab neighborhoods, says the Berlin police chief. Yes, we want this here. No problem. 14 million illegals are here, many of them from Muslim nations. yelling Allahu Akbar and shooting our Jews. See, I guess Brandon Johnson, the liberal Democrat mayor of Chicago, should tell the Jews, hey, hide your being Jewish so you don't get shot in the streets by our illegals that I'm protecting. One line open, 800-288-WBAP. Let's first go to Nathan in Saginaw, WBAP. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, I was just going to say real quick that that 14 acres...
1,400 acres. Yeah, by the border.
Did you say
1,400? Yeah, 1,400 acres being offered up by our Texas Land Commissioner and Governor Abbott to be used to have a massive camp to house and deport illegals for years under Trump. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. I misunderstood. I was going to say I got 15 acres and I can't even live on that.
Well, you know what? I would love to use your. Hey, why not Why not offer up your 15 acres for a staging ground for DFW to get them out of here?
They couldn't even turn an 18-wheeler around in it. It's so small. But yeah, I'm all for that. 1,400. That sounds a lot better to me.
Right in Starr County, 97% Hispanic. Right in Starr County, 97% Hispanic in the Rio Grande Valley, right by the international airport there, and they voted Trump overwhelmingly in this election. So there you go.
I can believe that.
I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. We'll pop in one or two more, and let's do next. We have Jason in North Richland Hills. Hello, Jason.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, this is WBAP.
Good. So, I want to say something on two issues. The 1,400 acres, and they're talking about putting federal agents or federal employees in the military to man this camp. Why don't they take these homeless veterans and put them out there, feed them, clothe them, give them medical care? That's what they should do.
Wouldn't you rather we take the $190 million we're spending on the illegals and put that to help our homeless veterans than put them in some camp by the border?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to put them in a camp. Wouldn't you rather have them being housed and fed with the money that's being spent on these illegals?
Yeah, I agree.
And Trump loves veterans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, he's brought up the homeless veteran issue with these illegals in the same context.
Yeah. Some way we got to get them wrapped up or rounded up and take them back to their hometown. But on the other issue about...
well, you can't force somebody to go somewhere, obviously, as an American citizen, right? But I understand. You want to help them. Go ahead. What was your other issue real fast?
Yeah, about... you said something about how we think about the guy getting the death penalty.
Yeah. He could have gotten death penalty, actually, but the liberal Democrat George Soros mayor, prosecutor in Georgia, where this happened at UGA in that county, Athens, Clark County, took the death penalty off because she's a Soros liberal, just like Let Him Go Crusoe, the DA of Dallas County. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're ripe. We're ripe to have a train date. We're here in Dallas, and one of them's going to rape or kill. They already took a woman at gunpoint, dragged her into her home, beat the living crap out of her with a pistol whipping, and then said, we're going to cut your fingers off if you don't tell us where everything is. They stole $75,000 worth of jewelry and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of designer handbags. Probably about $5-10 grand for those designer handbags each, I'm going to guess. Yeah, go ahead. Real fast, go ahead.
These are illegals doing this.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are... No. Not just illegals. Tren de Aragua. A horrifying a gang that is so powerful out of Venezuela that they now are in 5 states in Central and South America, including they're in Colombia taking over... They're trying to overthrow the Gulf Clan cartel there. The big cartel.
Wow.
Yeah, they've never been here except Joe and Kamala let them in about 3 years ago. They let in 700,000 Venezuelans, tens of thousands of them are Tren de Aragua. And they're here to rape us, kill us, murder us, rob us, extort us, control businesses. That's what they do, and take over all of our gangs to turn it into gangland you haven't seen in your lifetime in this country. Yeah. I got to roll, Jason, but I appreciate your call. We got Jack in Hurst. We got Jim in Iowa, plus your call. 3 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you want all of Kamala and Joe's illegals removed from our country or just the violent ones? Are you okay with waiting until they're violent to deport them, or is that the only reason they should be removed? I think they should all be removed. And are you okay with 1,400 acres of Texas land now being offered up by our land commissioner and our governor to use in the Rio Grande Valley to stage a massive camp for illegals to be detained and eventually deported with haste, post haste, out of this country? And are you okay with Texas arresting them and bringing them right into that center run by the feds? And are you okay with our military and its facilities being used to deport these illegals? Think of the synergy that's going to happen now because we have Governor Abbott. So state and local officials, for example, Sheriff Bill Wayburn in Tarrant County is going to be like a pipeline to get these illegals out of here. And so will Collin County, Sheriff Skinner, you know it. I'm sure Denton County will agree. And I'm sure that Waxahachie, Ellis County, Kaufman County, unequivocally, Rockwall County, and other counties, any county in Texas that's not liberal, like which would be Travis, Bear, and actually, interestingly, I think you might see in Houston and Harris, the DA there is a Democrat who supports Cruz. I think you might get some cooperation from there, too, believe it or not. All that's coming up in El Paso. They might cooperate even though they don't want to. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. The feds will still go in there. All that coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. But imagine our state officials and our county and local officials cooperating and literally arresting and then handing them over to the feds en masse. I'm excited about this. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. 3 lines open. I will share. You got to hear this one. CNN saying, columnist Eric Erickson writes, CNN reporters who wonders, gosh, if we deport these 16 million illegals, who will pick the cotton? That's what he writes. Not me. He writes that. Interesting. We'll share that with you. You'll hear that soundbite coming up next in the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Food would get more expensive, possibly a lot more expensive, and that would directly undercut another Trump campaign promise, which is to get inflation under control. Now, the big economic problem here is that we're talking about industries that are heavily reliant on foreign workers. Many of them are undocumented. And so when you have fewer workers, it means less food and, yes, higher prices. Let me just show you one example. If you look at farm crop workers, a plurality of people in that industry, 41%, are unauthorized. That's according to the USDA. One farmer in Michigan told me that mass deportations would be, quote, devastating to the ag economy because there just would not be enough people to pick the crops. But
I'm going to play the rest of it coming up next. But the reporter, my friend Eric Erickson, writes, CNN reporter wonders who will pick the cotton. It's a damning indictment on the press and the left that they're so okay with the class of serfs in this country doing the work. It's just a practical matter of reality for them. That's Matt Egan talking to Dana Bash on CNN. Yeah, I couldn't agree with them more. It's the slave class they want. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number. Let's go first to Jack in Hurst, WBAP. Hello, Jack. What do you got?
Chris, I agree with you. If they're illegal, get them out of the country.
Right on, brother.
Second, what happened to the embassies and consulates that we got to invite people in here that can support us and help us rather than condemn us and kill us?
The embassies, the U.S. embassies from these countries, what?
Our embassies and our consulates in all these foreign countries. I can remember they used to have 50 people in line trying to get in here. Mm-hmm. Why doesn't that work?
Yeah, exactly. Go to the embassy and apply, right?
Exactly. You get a visa, a green card, whatever you can.
And every one of them should be told, if you don't self-deport or willingly come with us, we are going to make sure you cannot even come back again. You know?
Exactly.
Because you're an illegal.
That's the embassy's responsibility.
Amen. Thank you, Jack.
Okay. Now...
Sorry, I let you go, Jack. I'm sorry. Feel free to call back. I apologize, Jack. That's my fault. Let's go to Jim in Iowa. Jim, WBAP. Hi, Jim.
You sort of answered my question. I was just wondering, of all the illegal aliens that are here, what percentage are doing that garbage? But you know what? How do you know who's going to do it and who's not? You got to get them all out.
Yeah, I'm not waiting.
You know what else?
Right.
You know what else? You take Biden and Comrade Harris with them.
Well, I don't think that's going to be able to be happening, but I appreciate the sentiment. Hey, Ellen DeGeneres announced she left. She's moved with her love partner, or maybe she's married, I don't know, to Great Britain. She's leaving the country. To which I wrote on Twitter replying, jolly good. All right, Lisa, Fort Worth, you're on WBAP, 30 seconds. You go. Good. Jolly good. Is that it? Lisa, you?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to WBAP.
Oh, good. Listen, I tell you what, everything everyone has said is absolutely pretty much on spot. As far as picking cotton, well, let's let Joe and Kamala do it. And I'm tired of living.
The idea is there's a slave class they've imported, and they're outraged that they're going to lose their slave class, which is just disgusting to think that way.
Isn't that absolutely true? What a fact.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're all of us, and I'm sick and tired of all of these sanctuary cities.
Let me put you on hold. I don't want to rush you, okay? I apologize. Stand by. Well, let's finish your second half in a moment, and Jack can call back to finish his point. I didn't mean to cut you off so fast, Jack. I apologize. My fault. 3 lines open, 800-288-WBAP. Do you want all of Joel and Kamala's illegals removed from our country, or just the violent ones? Are you okay with waiting until they're violent before we remove them? And are you okay with 1,400 acres of Texas land by the border now being used to stage a massive camp for illegals to be detained and eventually deported? And are you okay with Texas arresting them, bringing them right into that center run by the feds? And are you also okay with our military and its facilities being used to deport these illegals? 3 lines open. You will also hear the rest of that CNN outrageous thing saying, well, what about the slave class we've imported? We can't let them leave. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That's coming up next in 3 minutes after the hour. Also, there's 1.4 million more illegals we can deport. We haven't. I'll tell you about them coming up next, too, on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3 at 3 minutes after the hour.